And most people think, oh, I've never done something like that. Well, when you were a baby, you had never walked before either. But see, when you were a baby, you weren't trained to have excuses. When you were a baby, you didn't know what excuses were. As adults, we've gotten so used to, oh, I fail, I'm gonna quit. Oh, it's not for me. And then it becomes a habit. And just the way you learn how to walk, the way you learn how to talk, guess what? You can learn how to be successful.
Success is readapting yourself to the new market or business that you are currently going to.
Yep. David Goggins says that when you feel like you have reached that level of exhaustion, when you feel like you're done, you're only 40% of the way of what you could actually do. Hey guys, welcome to the BYLD podcast, and I've got a special guest for you guys today. Once again, we take some of the guys and girls in our company that are crushing it, that are doing great, that are following the system, and we bring them on what's called the profiles to success. So today we have a gentleman that since he got started, right, he's a barber, he owns his own barber shop, already successful with his barber business, but he wanted something more, and we're going to get into it and why somebody like him with no sales experience, with no network marketing experience is doing as good as he's doing. So with that being said, Mr. Matthew Acosta, how are you, bro?
Doing great, brother.
All right.
It's a pleasure to be on here. So thank you for having me on here.
Pleasure to be on here as well, man. It's funny because we just interviewed Robert, right? You and Robert are the first guys on this Profiles of Success podcast.
Oh, nice.
And it looks like you guys shop at the same place, bro. Yeah. You guys are both definitely rocking the same shirt, man. I love it, bro. Like I told him, I always rock my stuff. Encore Solar, BYLD Network, whatever the case may be, because this is what pays me, right? I'm not going to wear Nike. They don't pay me, man. Now, if Nike starts paying me, I might start putting on some of their stuff or whatever the brand is. But so Matthew, man, I got to tell you, man, I'm very impressed with the growth that you've been having in your business because you didn't come from a sales background. Have you ever done network marketing before?
Never. I've done Herbalife for literally 3 months. Okay. But it was like I bought more of the products and I actually sold it. So I was spending money to be there, so I left it.
Got it. Yeah, it makes sense. My wife was buying Herbalife for a while. It's a good product. They've been around for a long time, but times change. Yeah. So we have a high ticket brokerage, right? So solar, home security, water, commercial solar, and more high ticket products to come. So tell me a little bit about, your journey before, what you currently do, and why you decided to partner with us at BYLD.
Yeah, so I've been a barber for 15 years. So half my life I've been cutting hair. Okay. Opened up my shop 8 years ago. So 8 years been in business of my own. And, realistically, I joined because I had the pleasure of meeting our founder, Mr. Wences Navarro. And, he shared the vision before the name was even BYLD Network. Right. And man, just what he had in place that he was designing up from imagination, I was like, dude, this is where it's at. This is where I want to go because I can't be stuck behind the barber chair. Right. Like I need a different avenue to be able to create income where I'm not going to be behind the chair and I can have freedom with my kids. Yes. I can go, to their sports and stuff like that. So, talking with Wences and also seeing the leadership here, everything is set in place for success where you're not just spaghetti on the wall and you're just, you had to figure it out, That's right. So the leadership here, the core values that everyone has, yourself, I met you beginning of last year or end of last year in December. And man, it's been great, just being able to have the backing of everyone in the industry here.
I love it. No, that makes total sense. And you had the vision because you own a barbershop. You have how many barbers work at your barbershop?
It's 15 barbers, including myself.
Okay, so 15. That's a lot. So a lot of people, especially probably in the barbershop world, will say, well, Matthew's got it made. He's got his own beautiful barbershop. He's got 15 barbers. Why do you need to do something else? And even then, when you look at it, it's like you still have to manage these people, right? You still have the overhead and you still have a limit on how much money you can make. And, my brother's been a barber he's 40, so he's started at 16 and you know him. And, he's an amazing barber, has a lot of clients, but he had his own barbershop at one point as well. And he says, managing people, it's just not my favorite thing to do. And there's a limit. Not only that, he says, and I start to feel it when I'm leaning over here, to cut somebody's hair. And, with time, you start to feel it. But when you're introduced and you have an open mind like you did and you saw the potential of what's possible, in the beginning, you just saw the potential. Now you're experiencing what that potential has, right? So I think, what would you do last month? 4 sales?
4 sales last month, yeah.
4 sales, and you're almost a Builder 500.
Yep.
So you're a couple people away from Builder 500, right? Which is a $500 residual income. In addition to, I mean, those 4 sales that you did last month, are they solar sales?
Solar sales, yeah. Solar sales, and then 1 water sale too.
Okay, so 3 solar sales and 1 water sale? Is that what it is? Okay, perfect. So just the solar sales alone, those are personal sales?
Personal sales, yeah.
I mean, you know, see, most people are blessed with vision, right? To see what's in front of us with our eyes. But, excuse me, sight. That's sight, seeing what's in front of us with our eyes. But vision is seeing the unseen done. So you were showed the vision and you didn't even understand it really, but you're like, hey, this makes sense. And it makes sense to most people when they think about it, right? Do I think that the world is going to renewable energy? Yes. Do people drink water? We have the best drinking water in the world. Yes. Do people need home security? Yes. Okay, that makes sense. Then you couple that with the broker opportunity. Because you as a barber, right, as an owner of a barbershop, you have leverage income because you've got other barbers that work for you. And the thing about that business is similar to a real estate broker, that they train their own competition. I'm sure you've trained people that eventually went up and opened up their own barbershop, right? And that's fine. That's the nature of business. But when you open up a brokerage like what we've got here, you and everybody is a broker day one. So what's impressive to me about you is that you had no solar experience, no network marketing experience. You just made, you're very close to doing your mentor sales, right?
Yes. I'm actually a mentor now.
So you already hit mentor.
I already hit mentor, yeah.
So dang, congratulations. So are you officially in the back office recognized as a mentor?
Yeah.
Perfect. Wow. See, I love to see stories like that because one of the things that we do and we try to focus on is helping new people become professionals in solar. I remember when you barely got started and I helped you late last year close your first couple of sales and you were like, you didn't know anything. Now you're closing your own sales. Not only are you closing your own sales, you just qualified to become a mentor, which is a closer, and you're now going to be able to help other people close their sales and make half of the commission. I'll tell you what, that's when the money gets really good, bro.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
I mean, you're already experiencing it because you're starting to get these big checks. You're making sales. So you did 4 sales last month, and this month you say you have what?
2 sales this month, yeah.
2 sales already. And what about your team? How's your team coming along?
Team is growing fast now. I literally implemented the 90-day Blitz with the 8-point system.
Yes.
And that's what really took my business straight up from there.
How important would you say that 90-day Blitz is?
Man, that's huge. You start your business off with 90-day Blitz.
Yes.
Because if you don't, you're just coasting to whatever the goal may be, But
yes.
A 90-day Blitz is a commitment to yourself, and not just to yourself, but to your business.
Right.
To let yourself know that this is what I'm going to do for the next 90 days.
Yes.
And with the 8-point system, you're going to match those points. Because at least for myself, when I see there's not points in a certain category there,
right,
I'm like, damn, how can I get those certain points? How can I add those in there? Where in my day can I just do an extra activity to add an extra money-making activity in there?
Yes, I love it. The 90-day Blitz, for people that may not know, is 90 days of all-out massive action where you triple your normal efforts. Sometimes you quadruple them. Sometimes you already have a lot of effort, so you double them. But it's 90 days of uncomfortable effort. More calls. You're doing 30 calls a day, 50 calls a day. You're doing more meetings. You're driving. You're making more phone calls. You're helping more people. You're collecting more bills. You're making more follow-ups. 90 days of all-out massive action, and we have the system, the 8-point system that you brought up. So I'm glad you brought that up. That 8-point system, what would you say, because you weren't using that 8-point system from the beginning.
I wasn't, no.
And did you notice a difference when you started really being serious about the 8-point system?
Huge difference.
Yeah,
huge difference. Literally, by joining the 90-day Blitz or the 8-point system, I had 4 deals that first month.
Wow.
In the first 30 days. And then that was my goal. The first 30 days, I wanted to go after sales.
Nice.
The next 30 days, so by 60 days, I had 6 new builders come in within 1 month. My goal was 25, and I hit 6.
Still.
So now, in the last reaching to my 90 days, it's going to be both sales and builders combined together to hit the Builder 500 there.
I love it. So I'm going to give you a little test. You're doing amazing in sales. You're doing amazing in building your business. I have no doubt that you're going to close out the month with Builder 500, which is a $500 residual income. By the way, the company pays you that weekly, so it's $125 a week. When you hit Builder 1,000, it's $250 per week, and so on and so forth, right? Now that you've got this momentum, your team is growing, your sales are being made, right? You're a mentor. I mean, you're going up the ladder, bro. I'm super excited to see where you're going to end up a year from now. But what is your focus in the next week with these team members and your business?
Yeah, so with the new builders that I have in is literally just plugging them into the system, having them watch all the videos, whatever training they want to do is either solar, home security, water filtration. Meet them where they're at, meet them where they're at and guide them to the right product. And from there, guide them to be able to do like a private business launch and invite their people and use the duplicatable system that I did.
Yep.
So what I did is teach them what I did to be able to get to where they're at now.
Now, what about as far as events are concerned? Test here.
Yeah, definitely tons of events. I've done multiple networking events. I've tried to find every networking event that I can make it to, and I make it there. I was just at one yesterday, and it was funny because they had literally 2 rows of 20 chairs or 40 chairs, and the chairs were facing each other. And it said on the top of banner, it said speed networking.
That's cool.
So you literally sit down in front of somebody for 1 minute each, and you just pitch them and so forth. So pretty much 30 seconds each person gets, you know?
Yes.
And then it just rotates. And I was like, wow, that's cool, you know?
That
I
is
could
cool.
reach 40 people within this hour that I've never even met before.
Yes.
Now, this is where I want to be at. You know?
That gave me an idea. See, as an entrepreneur, I saw that you shared it on social media, I think, or on the group or
in
something.
the group, yeah.
When I saw that, I like to do generic events. Like last time we did an event called the Bulletproof Mindset. It was free, paid for by sponsors at the DoubleTree Hotel. We had about 220 people show up, and we had like 7 sponsors. They paid between $500 and $1,000 to sponsor the event. So that covered the event. And I was thinking, I'm going to do something like that, like an event where we have a couple speakers and then we finish off with speed networking. That's such a great idea.
Yeah.
And it can be paid for by, see, that's the thing about entrepreneurship, that you could get creative and figure things out. Now, so I love the fact that you're out there networking and hustling and doing your thing, but with your people, what is an event that you are focused in the next week to getting them to?
Oh, the next week we're definitely getting them to the
Mentor
to your
Factory.
event, the Mentor Factory. Yep,
Right.
That's I've definitely talked to every single one of those persons and told them like, look, we got to be here because this is where I'm going to be at. You're going to see me here, taking notes, sitting in the front, and getting my education from every speaker that's going to be on the board there. Because I'm in this company to take it up, not
And
just to stay
success
flat.
leaves clues.
Yep.
One of the things about you is that you connect to just about every training. I mean, you know, nobody can make it to say every single thing. The launch event, you were there both days. The event, the trainings on a weekly basis, you're connected there, right? So the goal as leaders to get the people there. So success leaves clues. You have the evidence of the things that it takes to win. Now it's about finding the people on your team. And yes, you do meet them where they're at. You have to push them and meet them where they're at. Some people are not going to be as ambitious as you, and that's okay. Sometimes we find people that have more attributes than even we do, more experience and more talent than even we do, but they don't have the grind that we do. I tell people all the time, I would rather take somebody that's not as talented, but is very coachable and willing to get outside of their comfort zone versus somebody who's very talented, who has a network and influence, but he's not coachable, not willing to get uncomfortable. I don't want that guy. I want the guy or the girl that is coachable and willing to get outside of their comfort zone, and we could teach that person how to become a mentor, how to become a builder 500, all the way to a executive 250. I think that some of this advice you've already shared, but what advice would you give to a new person, brother, that is starting off their business with Build Network?
Advice for a new person, man, is just come in and, like you said, be coachable. That's the only way. Like, don't come in here trying to say, hey, I've done this before, or I've already exhausted my list and this and that. Like, no, those are excuses and stories you're giving yourself to fail. Not to reach success. Success is readapting yourself to the new market or business that you are currently going to.
Yep.
You know, and literally just learning, plugging into the systems, do the trainings. Even if you don't want to go, just go, because there's going to be something there's going to be one nugget that you can get out of the same training that you can go to every single week.
Right.
Something could be said a different way where it's like, boom, now I see.
It clicks.
Yep, it clicks there. And it's happened to me where, you know, I will go to trainings and, you know, I hear the different trainings there and I'm like, oh, shoot, this one. Now this is something new that I'm hearing from the training here, you know, and there's always something. You can always find a nugget somewhere.
Yes. Yeah, and yes, not every training is going to be as explosive as, they're not all going to have the same impact. But you never know. It might be one training that's not as attractive to you, but then on minute 42, they drop a nugget that fits you. They drop some advice that makes things click for you. That's why the most important training is the one that you missed. You shouldn't miss trainings. No trainings. It's about getting uncomfortable, right? For example, have you experienced people tell you no, whether customers or recruits?
Yeah, all the time.
It's a part of the game. Yep. And most people think, oh, it's because I've never done something like that. Well, when you were a baby, you had never walked before either. But see, when you were a baby, you weren't trained to have excuses. When you were a baby, you didn't know what excuses were. When you were a baby, your human instinct as a human being was to get up after you've tried. How long does a parent give a child before they tell them, hey, you know what, son, you've been getting up and falling, getting up and falling, getting up and falling. I don't think this walking stuff is for you, son. No, they don't. Because the baby doesn't know that there's a way out. The baby doesn't know that there's an alternative to fail. But as human beings, as adults, we've gotten so used to, oh, I fail, I'm gonna quit. I fail, I'm gonna quit. Oh, it's not for me. And then it becomes a habit. And just the way you learn how to walk, the way you learn how to talk, guess what? You can learn how to be successful in building a business, in sales, in recruiting, right? And the beautiful thing about our business, you don't have to recruit. You don't have to sell. You can focus on selling, you can focus on recruiting, you can focus on both. That's up to you. But these are skills. And would you agree when I say this, Matthew, that what you've learned here is something that anybody that really applies themselves can learn and be successful like you are?
Yeah, most definitely. And I literally have these conversations with people that I'm trying to recruit all the time.
Yeah.
Where it's like, it's not sales. You're literally just being connector master.
Right.
You know?
Yes.
Just talk to your people that you already talked to. There's nothing you have to do differently, or know somebody that could use the product, but It's not sales. You're leveraging the experience of others to be able to make a commission there.
I love it, man. That's awesome.
And it's as simple as that. Just connecting, networking, talking with people.
That's perfect.
All you do is switch the conversation. Hey, instead of talking about what are you doing this weekend, is like, hey, you know someone that wants solar?
That's right. How hard is that?
Yeah.
It's not very hard. It's actually easy. The problem is that it's easier not to do it. And unfortunately, most people, they're just not used to getting outside of their comfort zone. That's why I believe that most people are tippy-toeing their way around life all the way to the grave. So they could get tippy-toeing their way through life so they could get safely to the grave. And to me, it's like there's a difference between existing and living. Living for me is seeing my children be happy, going to the private school that we want them to go to, taking the vacations with them and both of our mothers, my mother-in-law and my mother, right? That really is living. To me, there's more to life than just punching a clock and fighting traffic, right? There's nothing wrong with it, but there is something wrong with it when that's not what you want to do. There is something wrong with it when that is a lifestyle that if I'm stuck in that lifestyle and I can't give my wife and my kids and my mother what they deserve, what I want to give them, and a bunch of broken promises, then that's when there's something wrong with it. And unfortunately, most people don't know that there's a way out. And we have a way out. You have people, I have people in our phone, on our contact list that tonight are going to pray for an opportunity. And guess what? If we don't have the courage to call because we're afraid to get some rejection, that's not cool, man. We got to have the courage to make the phone call. Who cares? Yes, it's going to be for some people. It's not going to be for some, but we don't know who it's going to be for. And a lot of people are suffering in silence. They need an opportunity. Maybe it's not our opportunity, but maybe we plant a seed of entrepreneurship and they go out there and do something. You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely.
Well, listen, man, this was a great conversation, Matthew. I thank you very much for coming on the podcast on the Profiles of Success. This is the first official day that we do these. So it was Robert and you that were the first ones on here. So you guys made history because, Robert was just here right now. And thank you very much for coming on the podcast, bro. And I look forward to having you on another podcast in the future, okay?
Yeah, same here. I appreciate it, bro. Thank you.
My friend, let's get it.